Good evening, everyone. I'm Akush Lapinda with your JCN News. It's wonderful having you back with us. The Minnis administration gets a scolding from one of its own, a Grand Bahama MP who was a no-show at the party's recent rally on that island. With the story, we go now to our report from our BJ McDermott.
Pine Ridge MP Frederick McAlpine has never been one to mince words, and not even when it comes to his own party. Though noticeably absent from the FNM's all-island rally on West Atlantic Drive, Grand Bahama on Friday, Mr. McAlpine wasn't at all out of touch with what was said. Take, for instance, the Prime Minister's comments that the Progressive Liberal Party is the definition of corruption. In strong disagreement, the FNM MP argued that the PLP is a political organization that has contributed to the Bahamas.
There have been people in the PLP that we might have pertained or somehow thought that their behavior might have been considered corrupt, but that is yet to be proven in a court of law. But you cannot say that because the PLP, just how we can throw stones at the PLP, stones can be thrown at the FNM with similar allegations. Does that make the FNM a corrupt group? I don't think so.
Now, it was expected that during Friday's rally, the Prime Minister would respond to the opposition's calls for Cabinet Ministers Dr. Dwayne Sands and Marvin Deems to resign following their involvement in the Frank Smith extortion and bribery case. However, the PM never did. Reiterating a view held by some, Mr. McAlpine reasoned that a government preaching anti-corruption should not have the appearance of corruption.
These are the kind of things that causes leadership and the governing party to seem to lack integrity. That should have been priority. If you tell the people you're going to do something, then people expect to hear from you. The Bahamas is waiting to hear the Prime Minister's take on what the Chief Magistrate had to say concerning his ministers, concerning the trial of corruption that was held as it pertained to the Frank Smith case.
And as for the many projects the government continues to tout to boost Grand Bahama's strained economy, like the sale of the Grand Lucayan Resort, the Pine Ridge MP says Grand Bahamians will not be impressed until the property is actually sold.
You keep touting and telling us that you have 60 people or 60 groupings that wants to buy the hotel. Well, why you still have it? If I put a car out on anywhere in the Bahamas, I know we do it in Grand Bahama, so I assume they do it in Nassau. They put a car out, they put for sale sign and put a number. If 4 people call me to buy the car, why am I still going to have the car? 60 people or 60 organizations want to buy the hotel, and you think we're impressed in Grand Bahama by you telling us that? We're not impressed with that. We'll be impressed when it's sold. And the quicker, the better.
When asked whether he feels the Minnis administration will be re-elected, Mr. McAlpine says that is a tall order. Reporting for JCN News, I'm Berthany McDermott.
Blacklisting and regional political unrest, key talking points for leaders attending CARICOM's 2-day 30th intersessional meeting in St. Kitts. Discussions will also focus on transportation, safety, and security. Leading the Bahamas' delegation is Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis, who on Tuesday will attend one of the intersessional meetings. He will also participate in a bilateral meeting with the President of the Republic of Estonia. Foreign Affairs Minister Darren Henfield, along with High Commissioner of the Bahamas to CARICOM, Ruben Raming, and other senior government officials will represent the Prime Minister on day 2 as the leader travels to New York. There, Dr. Minnis is set to receive this year's Legacy Award. The Prime Minister is one of 4 heads of government being honored for professional achievement at the American Foundation for the University of the West Indies' 22nd Annual Legacy Awards Gala Wednesday evening. Others include Premier of the Turks and Caicos Islands, Charlene Cartwright Robinson, Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis, Dr. Timothy Harris, and Premier of the British Virgin Islands, Dr. Orlando Smith. Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Finance K. Peter Turnquest will serve as Prime Minister in Dr. Minnis' absence. The opposition's point man on finance locking horns with the Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Finance following Moody's improved outlook on the Bahamas. The International Credit Rating Agency last week upped its reclassification from negative to stable, an improvement the Minister of Finance touted as encouraging. But Chester Cooper is warning the government about crowing about reports from international organizations as it has done little to address the misery of thousands of Bahamian families. Now, Mr. Cooper, in a press statement, further argued that pretty books and lukewarm report cards from credit agencies will do nothing to stem the increase of joblessness and the erosion of domestic credit. He advises that for whatever it's worth, the government takes the view of ratings agencies, but meaningfully attempt to extract less from a population who cannot afford it and focus on economic growth that will have a real impact on people's lives. The finance minister has since shot back, charging that it's unfortunate that the opposition would seek to downplay tremendous efforts, discipline, and sacrifice Bahamians have had to make to correct 5 years of excess and loose financial control under their last term in office. You're watching JCN News. Stay with us.
This segment of the news was brought to you by Alive.